Makausap po natin si Attorney Domingo Cayosa na dating Pangulo ng Integrated Bar of the Philippines o yung IBP. Maraming salamat for joining us, Attorney Cayosa.
Good evening, Ed, at magandang gabi sa nakikinig at nanonood sa inyo.
Thank you, sir, for joining us tonight. Sir, ang sinasabi ng prosecutors, the court, the RTC, placed too much weight on the recantation of Rafael Ragos. Although I'm also wondering, didn't the prosecutors themselves as well place the greatest weight on the original testimony of the same person? So how does that apply po?
Well, Ragos was supposed to be the key witness of the prosecution, but now they say that they presented other witnesses and then other pieces of evidence that might be sufficient to convict now Congresswoman Lima. And that's their claim now. Secondly, they question the lack of clarity as to what portion of the recantation of Ragos affected what element of the crime. Because, well, they have a reason for doing that because a court or a judge cannot just say there's no sufficient proof. He or she has to explain why that is so. Thirdly, it is also settled in jurisprudence that recantations are supposed to be frowned upon.
Yes, sir.
So it is necessary for a judge, before believing or taking a recantation as it is, to explain why he or she would rather believe the recantation rather than the earlier testimony.
Pero sir, at the same time, the prosecutors are appealing the decision of the RTC to acquit. I'm wondering lang if that's at all possible kasi it is an acquittal. Can any side appeal an acquittal or can they only appeal a conviction? What does it say in the rules of court?
No, the rules say that a decision of acquittal cannot be appealed. It becomes double jeopardy would set in that case. If it is a conviction, it can be appealed by the accused. But in this particular case, to be accurate, Ed, they're not appealing. They're just seeking for a reconsideration by the judge.
Yes, sir.
Of his own decision.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. I understand. So there's I suppose there's some nuancing between a motion for reconsideration and an appeal. Pero in this case po, so is it possible for the prosecutors to file an MR for versus an acquittal by a court?
By the same court. They're not
Yes, sir.
appealing it to any higher court. So it's something that it is unusual, I would say, but it is possible. So it's now for the judge to deal with that motion for reconsideration.
Okay. I asked that po kasi the lawyers of Lima are saying it's already triple jeopardy. So basically po, it is not necessarily disallowed.
It is not. As a matter of fact, it cannot also be. You have to understand that the earlier decision of the judge was declared by the Court of Appeals as void ab initio. So as if there was no earlier decision. So this would be the first, so to speak, this would be the first decision of acquittal.
Okay, sir, what about the threat of the lawyers of Lima to pursue the prosecutors for what they call unlawful or wrongful prosecution? Is there such a case, and how do you substantiate that?
Yes, that's possible. That's provided for in the revised penal code. But wrongful prosecution is possible or is advisable only if there is judgment by the trial court that there was no case at all. Like it was purely a fabricated. In this particular instance, it is acquittal by reasonable ground or reasonable doubt. So it's just a quantum of evidence that the prosecution was not able to achieve. No, so that's the right, of course, but they might find it very difficult to expect or to get a conviction, because in this particular case, it's just reasonable doubt. A reasonable doubt. That's what the RTC judge said.
Okay. Okay, maraming salamat for joining us this evening. Magandang gabi po sa inyo. Attorney Domingo kayo sa dating Pangulo ng IBP, Integrated Bar of the Philippines. Thank you, sir. Mga kapatid, Ed Lingaw po, maging maalam at may pakialam sa mga napapanahong balita sa ating bansa. Para sa mas malilimang pagtalakay at paghimay sa mga issue at headlines, mag-follow at mag-subscribe sa social media pages ng News 5.